Hello, everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from CNN Politics. Now, this is written by Kelly Mina. It was published on February 7th, and I love how they're trying to frame this. You have almost all of Virginia being sanctuary for the Second Amendment, county by county, city by city, town by town, just saying, screw you. And they're trying to make it sound like what these people go, oh, well, they want us to do this. They actually have quotes from like idiots in the Virginia Democrat like dipshit squad over there saying stuff like that. It's hilarious. Anyway, Virginia legislature advances bill banning assault weapons. Now, what's funny is you got a title like that, but then you go and look at what they consider assault weapons, which people who've been following this know what HB 961 considers assault weapons. But other people are just going to go, oh, well, they're going after those big, nasty, ARs and automatic rifles, even though it's, Armalite. But anyway, yeah, so let's get into the article here, this ridiculous article written by Kelly Mina. A bill that would ban assault or military-style weapons of Virginia has passed out of committee and will now be considered by the full Democratic-led House of Delegates. Woohoo! Not. The measure HB 961 looks to ban assault weapons, defined as semi-automatic rifles and pistols, high-capacity magazines, more than 12 rounds, trigger activators that are designed to make weapons fire more rapidly, and silencers. So basically, any semi-automatic rifle or pistol is going to be banned. So your little Ruger 22 semi-auto rifle, banned. 9mm pistol, banned. Trigger activators are so funny. Like, do they even know what one is? I mean, we'll make weapons fire more rapidly. Are they sure? Are they guessing? But yeah, basically, they're going to go after anything that isn't a revolver. And the funny thing is a high capacity magazine thing. The only thing that, like a pump action shotgun that might get a pass on that uses a clip. But most ones that use a clip are semi-auto anyway. So, I mean, they're going to ban high capacity magazines, which is more than 12 rounds. But they already banned pistols, which are the majority of, firearms that use them. This is like so messed up. Like, assault weapons. So basically any semi-automatic rifle and pistol is considered an assault weapon now, according to the Democrats. You gotta love that. The measure also looks to prevent the possession, sale, purchase, and restrict the transfer of assault weapons. When you basically ban them and make them all criminal retroactively, you kind of already took care of that. Anyway. It's part of a package of 8 gun violence prevention measures introduced by Governor Ralph Northam, a Democrat, in July 2019 special session of the Virginia Assembly following a mass shooting in Virginia Beach. At the time, the Republican-led House abruptly adjourned the session without action, but the initiatives gained new life in November after Democrats took control of both chambers of Virginia's legislature. That's right, it was Northam that said this. And it's kind of funny. You've got the Republicans saying, no, fuck you. Back then, on the shit that he wanted to do. You have all the counties, well, not all, but the overwhelming majority. I mean, you might see one county here or there, one city here or there that hasn't declared themselves a sanctuary. But the state's overwhelmingly done that. And you got this type of shit going on. It's so funny. Virginians are demanding real action to combat gun violence. Today, legislators prove they are listening. I'm grateful to my colleagues in the House of Delegates for passing our common sense gun safety legislation. Make no mistake, these measures will save lives, Northam previously told CNN. Really? They asked you to do this, but yet they're literally telling you to piss off by declaring all these parts of Virginia, the counties, the towns, the cities, all saying, screw you, and declaring themselves Second Amendment sanctuaries. You've got sheriffs telling you to go pound sand, to go fuck yourselves. All right? Take a ball bat, they're basically telling you to take it and shove it up your ass, all right, and ball gag yourself so they don't have to listen to your bullshit. And you think that they want this. This is so sad, or at least you're trying to portray that they want this. The bill passed the Public Safety Committee in a party line vote of 12 Democrats to 9 Republicans, but not before opposition to the measure was voiced by pro-gun Virginia residents and groups. Yeah, it's not enough that you've got literally, if you were to look at these sanctuary county map of Virginia, or the sanctuary map of Virginia for Second Amendment, it's like little pockets of places where they aren't at this point, where there aren't sanctuaries, and they're trying to portray this like, oh, the people want this, and this is, it's so funny, and they put this down at the end where the people are against it. It's, which you gotta love that. It's so funny. We strongly oppose this bill. This bill would not make Virginians safer. What this bill does is make law-abiding Virginians felons overnight. DJ Spiker, the National Rifle Association's Virginia State Legislative Director, said at the hearing. Now, I'm not a fan of the NRA, but this guy actually did say something. And the NRA allowed this to happen in their own backyard, which should say a lot about that. That's why a lot of people are like saying, screw you to them, and they're moving to like other Second Amendment organizations like U.S. CCA. So, yeah. I mean, when you allow this to happen in your own backyard, you look weak. You look like idiots. And this is going to look bad with the NRA. I mean, if you really think about it, people are going to start going, wait a minute, if they allow this to happen in their own backyard, whoa, how are they looking out for me? If they can't watch if they can't keep their own house in order, how are they going to protect my Second Amendment rights? And this is going to come back to bite them in the ass. Philip Van Cleve, the president of the Virginia Citizens Defense League, a pro-gun group that has been leading the charge on the Second Amendment sanctuary movement, has vowed to fight the Democrats' legislation in court, and he will win. It'll go to the Supreme Court if it has to, I'm sure, because this is something that, especially with the new Trump appointees, is almost definitely going to make it to the Supreme Court. And Virginia's going to get told to go fuck themselves. And then the Democrats are going to go, oh, activist judges. And it's going to be like, no, they interpreted the Constitution the way the Founding Fathers intended. It's okay when their judges are the activist judges to actually be activist and say, like with Heller versus D.C., try to say the Second Amendment didn't cover the individual right to bear arms. But, with this, if a judge actually interprets the Constitution as the Founding Fathers intended, they're going to claim activist judges because they like to project what they do onto others. Gun safety advocates, however, hailed the advancement of the bill as a needed step towards banning weapons of war in the state. Technically, knives are weapons of war. I mean, they've been used. I mean, go look at World War I trench knives. Okay. You're going to start banning knives? Oh, wait, the UK's trying to do that now. Like, what's his name? The mayor of London. Dipshit. Trump deranged dipshit. Oh, God. What the hell's his name? Anyway, but yeah, trench knives are weapons of war. You're going to ban those? Swords are weapons of war. You're going to ban those? Because they've been used in wars. Come on now. All right. Muskets are weapons of war. They were used to fight many wars. You're going to ban those? Winchester rifles were used as weapons of war. You're going to ban those? Literally, well, actually, yeah, they're trying to ban every type of firearm. So, of course they are. They don't want anyone to possess firearms. And what gets me is the people that usually are the ones pushing for this publicly. Okay? like Bloomberg, not per se, actually, the little dipshits from Florida, they probably had security for a while, armed security. But you have these people that are surrounded by people with guns, being paid to protect them, saying that no one else needs guns. That's how it always is. And what gets me is that emboldens them, because it doesn't affect them. Because I know it won't affect them, because they're going to make sure it doesn't affect them. These weapons, assault-style semi-automatic rifles and pistols, along with high-capacity magazines, have no place on our streets. Vice President of Policy at the Brady Campaign to Prevent Gun Violence, Christian Haynes, said at the hearing. I love this. These weapons, this gobbledygook of fucking words here. These assault-style semi-automatic rifles and pistols. Assault style, you're saying all of them, all semi-automatic rifles and pistols, according to you, are assault style weapons. And this idea of high-capacity magazines have no place on our streets. Bloomberg recently said that he would ban anything that has a capacity of more than 3 rounds. If you don't need more than 3 rounds, his mentality is oh, well, fuck you. He was referring to deer, but it's clear that would be on the note of protecting yourself. If you've got more than 3 people coming at you, you're fucked, or even 2. I mean, people moving, whatever. 3 bullets ain't going to do shit. This idea that they have no place on our streets. Excuse me, but you have no right to say what I use to protect myself. You have no right to say that I don't have, that I shouldn't have the means to protect myself. The protection of life, limb, and property. Okay, that's how it used to be. Okay, now it's you can't do that. But if someone came at you, if you shot them, all right, there wouldn't even be paperwork. They'd be like, okay, they would look at the situation. They would look at the scene. They'd see what happened. There would obviously be an investigation, and they'd be like, yeah, okay. Now, even if you shoot someone like that, you can be charged because of these idiots like this. And the criminals are going to have the guns on the streets. So you're saying that people should not be able to defend themselves from the criminals who have those weapons because they're not going to abide by this shit. If they're going to prison for committing a crime, okay, having a gun on them, they're not going to give 2 shits. Especially if they're already a felon. They're already going away for a long fucking time anyways, if they're caught. The bottom line is this. No civilian should have to ever intervene to prevent their fellow human beings from being massacred while out for a movie, dancing, checking out a favorite band, worshiping, getting an education, or just walking down a crowded street hanging at him. So wait a minute. They don't have to do that. They shouldn't have to do that, but they choose to do that. They choose to be the Good Samaritan. They choose to put themselves at risk to go against people who have no regard for the law and would not be curtailed from doing, what they would be doing, what these people are doing would not be curtailed by a law like this. They choose to put themselves in harm's way to protect other people. They don't have to do it. They choose to do it. And this idea of these people being massacred out of a movie, dancing, checking out a favorite band, worshiping, getting an education, or just walking down a crowded street, okay? That's always going to happen. You ban weapons. People are still going to get their hands on them. There's no doubt about that. Okay, what you don't hear about, Europe and the UK, weapons are banned. Like the UK, do you know what the big thing is right now? They had to literally change how starter pistols are designed because you had people, there was a cottage industry where starter pistols were being converted. I kid you not on this. All right, not very accurate because there's no, rifling in the barrel, but make them so that they would fire an actual bullet. You have the less lethals that are legal in other EU, now no longer EU nation, but when the UK was, you would have smuggling in less lethals, which are a firearm, but they shoot like, say, a rubber bullet. And they're not designed to take the pressure or the rounds from, like, say, a conventional round. They're not designed to take the pressure or the abuse from it. You had those being converted as well. I mean, you get a few shots off and then they go to shit, because, again, the barrels aren't designed for that. But, again, a cottage industry converting those because they're designed not to take something to do with the design. They won't fire conventional bullets, but they've been modified. And you have these things on the streets in the UK. You get Sweden, the, grenade capital of Europe. And they think when you have grenades on the fucking streets in Sweden, they think banning fucking guns in Virginia is going to do a goddamn thing. If someone can get their hands on a fucking grenade in Sweden, banning guns ain't going to do shit in the U.S. The criminals are still going to get their fucking hands on them, or they're going to get their hands on something worse because, you have a lot of guns that are stolen, whatever, that end up on the black market from people's homes, whatever else. You clear up that, they're going to be getting from, like, actual arms dealers. The guys that supply, like, terrorists and shit. And then you're going to, which is why you see this in Europe, because you have these people who supply terrorists giving these people grenades. You're going to have the same type of shit happen here because the criminals, okay, they're getting a 38, they're getting a fucking, a gun in an alleyway in New York City. Okay, they're not going to be getting a pistol anymore. They're not going to be getting some fucking shitty, some shitty fucking revolver or whatever. They're going to be getting like actual military fucking hardware, and it's going to be on our streets. And then what are you going to do? What are you going to claim then? When Americans can't defend themselves and they're going up against actual military weapons. You're just going to go, we got to ban those too. They're already banned. What are you going to do? Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.